Hello and welcome back to my channel, Checks, Captures, Threats. In today's video we are playing in episode 8 of the Gambits Galore, and this is how I was able to play a delayed Scotch while also losing my other central pawn and being able to try and turn around the game. So, let's start. Now, we actually started off here with, just before I say anything actually, I had 85.6% accuracy to his 74.6%. And he actually had a great move. I was really playing for more excellence here, and yeah, I mean, I think he played 2 blunders here, which you'll see. And as we go through here, this is where now, here is quite a funny thing, as we can actually have played a few things now. So, I can play the fried liver. I think we all know what the fried liver is, and obviously, you know, the move to counter it is this. There is actually 2 other ways, though, to counter this. Scotch-Like Gambit, which I do not prefer, because all you've got to do here is white is this, and you're now winning. So you're really not in the best spot. Now you're actually quite down. You're going to lose this. The only thing I would say to this that might not be that bad is how quick you could probably try and get this queen out. So, but other than that, I wouldn't prefer to do that. The other move I'd say actually is Knight takes e4, the Dark Knight Gambit, some call it. Now the reason behind this is if you take, you've got fork, and if you take this pawn here, you've got Queen f6, and you're actually winning as black. And if they take with a check, obviously this is where it gets a little bit difficult, as now you are in a little bit more trouble to try and survive. So there's a few fun ways you can do that if they don't know the exact theory, but we play d4. So this is a bit like, if you imagine the Scotch, how we have this structure here, and we've just delayed it a bit, but the reason of delaying this actually loses this pawn here, which I would have preferred to castle here, but I decided to actually play queen e2. I don't mind giving up this pawn because of this whole thing here, though we do give up the move d5. Now he has very much solidified that whole centre, and we're going to struggle, so we have to play a pin here. Now the bishop goes to e7. Again, I'm very surprised with the game review and some of these mistakes, as, you know, that does not look like a mistake to any of us. That's just a simple move where you're trying to develop outwards, as we obviously just win this pawn back. That was obviously going to happen. We had 2 on it, and now he makes the move queen to d6. This was a good move, actually. Again, you could have even played the bishop there. I mean, it would have trapped the queen in, but now this is the thing, though. It allows bishop f4, forcing another queen move. And now I play this move, which I didn't know was the best move at the time, because I would have thought it would have been something like this, maybe, where you would have had actually this whole recapture. Actually, no, sorry, not that, because I would have just blundered it. Sorry, it would have been like push back or something. I was trying to think about when you take, it protects, but it's one move too late. But when you go back or something, I didn't actually I thought this would have been better really for me, but I played g6 just because I wanted to keep this here, and I know he's definitely not going to play this, because I just go back to here and we're fine. So he castles, and I've now played the move there we go, and we get this recapture. Again, I was very surprised with a mistake. I'm trying to get rid of one of his better knights here. They obviously wanted me to push and attack it, and now he plays the move a5, and he's obviously looking to attack this array of pawns. I block it. Again, I see why this one can be a mistake as well, as it's a very weak pawn, and I'm very unlikely to play this b3 as well, because it weakens every black square here. He plays, actually, it's a miss, because they should push, but I think this is nearly even better for him, as this move stops me from casting kingside, which is a bit of a huge deal, as I really wanted to castle this way, as you see I've quite a nice protection here. But now I have to think I have to castle the other side now. So after this, and I now have to move this king, I castle queenside. c5 played a little bit later than I think the engine expected it to. And I make the move rook to e1, not thinking about this, because we can take with the queen. And now we're attacking this pawn, and we're very strong, which in fact does happen. And this is the first blunder that he makes in this game. And we just capture this pawn. Very simple. You know, we're now a pawn up, I believe. Yes. So, this rook move, alright, but you're going to see a very silly blunder from him later on. I will get in about 2 moves, but I was still winning here. I'm still a point and a half up, and it is actually a lot easier to make this a win. As you'll see very simply, this is just capturable. But in this position here, if we just take a bit more of a time to liquidate the position here, I actually think, you know, it won't try and trade these off. We're obviously up, so he needs to try and keep that. And my guess is a move we can't play. Actually, can play. Oh, no, that would force a trade. So he would probably just play something like this, get in line with here maybe, and you know, see, look, we can create. If we can queen trade in a position like this, then I would say we are definitely in the winning sort of territory here. They're even saying that, but as you can see, it's just being up that extra pawn here, especially being connected. These 2 pawns are going to be so difficult to keep a hold of, as obviously we see the blunder there. But the main thing about this game was just to show you how from that opening we was able to convert that middle game into a few, you know, making sure we can have the option of castling with a semi-decent defense. If you look at the defense, it's not good, but it does the job. And after this, there was quite a funny little move here, as I saw this, and obviously I play this move. Now, what this move does is it forces one move here, I believe. Okay, they're saying there. I guess that makes sense, because obviously if I show you here, and I was to take here, actually they recapture, and now I guess you just play a move like that, and I swear you would just have this, so it wouldn't really matter. But here he actually plays the move queen to d6, and this is where I play a very nice move. Not actually the best move, surprisingly, but I found it at the time, was actually knight to d3, as what this does is this will win a queen. As if we look here, the queen is being attacked. It can't take here because this is mate, and it can't protect this bishop still, otherwise it has to play this, which it just loses the queen because of the pin. So I found that on stream, which was quite good. And again, obviously you can't take with the bishop. So after here, he actually resigned, and I won the game. So hopefully from that game you took off at least a few points, just even though it wasn't the best end game here, as you see. But if we just take a point from like up here, you know, it can maybe help to see, like I might have missed the tactic somewhere. As you can see here, I missed this move here, and this would have forced it back, and maybe I had this move. And actually looking at it now, let's just say they're making that move, and now I queenside castle. Look at how protected I am. But instead, that's how I queenside castled, which does not look nearly as good as what I just played over there. So, but as you see, this is also why you have a knight in the centre and not a knight on the rim. As we see, this knight was quite commanding where it went. As if we go towards the end here, we actually used it towards our end game here. Now, the best move actually from this was actually here. And the reason that I was a bit scared was I thought there was something that he could come down here for. But again, it didn't really matter too much. I mean, I could have played, I think, this rule like here. Could I played that? I think so. Yeah, in literally any knight move would have won the queen, I believe. I think, could I even play this? Playing anything? Yeah, every way will win the queen. So, a bit of a party ruiner of the whole d3 tactic. But at the time, I had 56 seconds, and I was a bit scared that there was something down here. So that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this gambit. I'm not really too sure what to call the gambit, as it doesn't really give me a name, but it was kind of a delayed Scotch, so I could say it was that. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. So thank you, and bye bye.